Everybody, welcome to Box Office Battles with Greg and Eric, the only podcast that takes two of your favorite films and makes them go head-to-head for our enjoyment. Tonight we are doing bad films, especially bad Marvel films. First rounder tonight. So sit back, and enjoy Box Office.
Hi, I'm Chili Dilly, the personality pickle.
Hi, I'm Greg, and I'm a nerd.
You must be kidding, aren't you?
I have never seen anything like this.
The worst part has been watching the actual watching of the movie.
Some of these were pretty terrible.
And it is Box Office Battles with Greg and Eric, back after a brief, time off again.
We were on dry dock, and now we're back.
We spend a little bit of time off this season. It just can't help it. I can't help it that my eyeball goes out, and then I can't help it that my dog dies. I can't help it that I lost my truck, my girlfriend.
Yeah, and if you play it backwards, you get all your shit back.
It's starting to sound like a country song there, but yeah. So I took a few weeks off to go out to North Dakota to see my lovely, beautiful granddaughter Vivian turn 1 year old. I've got a photo there. Oh,
you have a sound effect for that? Oh,
do I? I don't know. Let me see.
I hate everything. Sad trombone.
No, I don't have it. We'll do that. There we go.
Yay, Vivian.
Yeah, Vivian turned 1 year old just a week or so ago, and we were out there for the birthday party. It was great. I got to spend time with my son and my daughter-in-law, and we just had a lovely time. We just, she's a treasure. She's just an unbelievable. She's a happy baby. You got to love it when they're happy at a young age. She's not really fussy. The wife and I took her out for a day, just to the mall, and took her to like a play place, and so that my son and his wife could have some alone time, because they don't get a lot of that. And we could have kidnapped her. We thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
We had the opportunity, but we didn't. So I count that as being responsible. But it was a great time in North Dakota. I'm glad to be back, but it was a great time.
They're going to know that, because most crimes like that happen with somebody that is already close to the family. Murders. So if you want to kidnap or murder, and this is just spitballing, but if you want to do that, it needs to be someone totally random.
Got you. Duly noted. So next baby I see that I want, just got to make sure it's a random baby, not a baby you already know. That was one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons we didn't take this one. I was like, I think they would know it was us. I think it would show up with the baby.
Well, while you were gone, I spent a lot of time thinking about killer whales.
You did. Sperm whales?
No, orcas.
Okay. What about orcas?
Well, okay. I mean, I can't say that I spent a lot of time thinking about it, but I did spend some time thinking about it.
Did you touch yourself while you were thinking about the killer whale?
No, it's not a kink. I have a kink. I have a kink for logic. I keep coming to conclusions.
Nice. Very good. I've not heard that one before. I appreciate that one.
My friend Corey sent that the other day. Okay, so how many killer whales can you name? Orcas / killer whales?
Like that have a name?
I feel like everybody can name 2.
I can name Willie.
Okay.
Free Willy.
Yes.
And Shamu.
Exactly.
Yep. Shamu from SeaWorld.
Shamu died in 1971, by the way.
Holy that's the year I was born. I have the spirit of Shamu. Yeah, it's the truth.
I don't know.
It is the truth.
Okay, but can you name one more? Because I can name 3.
3. Oh, I know Orca from the movie Orca.
No,
that was a killer whale.
You remember?
I think that one's name was Orca. It was
Do you know the name of the orca that was killing all those folks at SeaWorld?
Oh,
they made a documentary about it. Blackfish.
Blackfish. I've heard about that one. Yeah, I think I've seen that documentary. That was years ago, wasn't it? Didn't Eli Roth have something to do with that?
I don't know who Eli Roth is.
Oh, you don't? Okay. That makes a difference. So yeah, so
the one that killed the lady. Thank you for
Claude Debussy.
clarifying.
Yes, Claude
That.
Debussy, the one that killed the lady. There you go.
Tillamook.
There it is. He's got Tillamook. Yeah.
No, that's fucking cottage cheese brand.
I don't like the cheese.
It's not,
I do remember that now. I do remember that.
Tillicum.
Tillicum. Okay.
Because she's killing him.
Oh, got it. Okay, so
No,
why
it was a he. First of all, it was a he,
It was
and
a
he
he.
was involved in 3 human deaths.
Oh, damn.
That's 2 more than you.
Serial killer.
This orca had fucking had it. And if you've ever seen like an aerial photo of SeaWorld,
Yeah.
and they'll show like this little blue dot over here is where the orcas live. This is the parking lot, and it's like, the thing's
No,
5,000 times bigger, and it's sad what we do to those animals. I
it's
don't
used to. I don't know what do they still do that? I thought that we stopped that. I thought we did. I mean,
You
the
can
movie convinced me that we did.
you can still go to SeaWorld, right?
Do they still have the Shamu stuff going on? I know that they do. They do. I don't know. I haven't been to SeaWorld in a very long time. Claude Debussy says you should watch Free Willy, though. It is a classic, and it is a classic.
It's de pussy.
It says that's definitely a B.
Oh. I got these new glasses I'm still getting used to. They're
That's how I look through mine. Yes.
they're progressives, and so if I want to read anything real close, I gotta be like this.
Tilting the head back for all our listeners on the podcast.
And then as I'm driving, I
great.
shift back into human mode, and I'm looking straight forward.
Same. I had progressives. I had to get rid of them when my eye went out.
Oh,
For like a year, and it was driving me crazy. I couldn't get used to them. So they asked me if I wanted them again. I was like, no, I'm done. So I have 2 glasses, ones that I read with, and then my regulars. So
dude, there's still SeaWorld. You can go to SeaWorld, San Antonio,
Really? Do they still have
Orlando,
the whales and everything, huh?
and San Diego.
And they have
Well,
whales.
That's what I'm trying to look up. Oh, there's
Yeah.
one in Abu Dhabi too. Oh, the animals. Not
Hey,
letting
everybody,
me
a
click
movie
on it.
a movie podcast where we talk about sea
And-
animals. But yeah, it's all
I
good.
just think
Yes.
no. Yeah. No. It's
Oh.
there's you can interact with a beluga whale,
Yeah.
but they stopped letting oh no shit. There is a killer whale tour. I don't think they do the like acrobatics
Yeah.
and shit because they
They
got
do it in
tired
its
of
natural habitat. I thought we stopped that. I did think we stopped that, but
yeah, they stopped it after the 3rd fucking trainer got thrown around and drowned and
I think Tilla, what do you call it? Tillamook?
well now you got me back.
Chillicothe, that's a town in Ohio.
Kilimanjaro,
Just make up whale names.
Tillicum,
Oh, holy crap.
till I come.
that's
That'll be easy to remember.
yeah, we got go down a whole road with that one. But yeah, so I guess Tillicum got his point across.
Yeah.
And he will go down in history of whale kind as being the one that liberated his brethren.
He's a hero. And Greg, I need to tell you about something that happened yesterday before we get into the movies, because I'm also a hero.
Well, these movies suck, so let's do it. Go ahead.
One of these movies was awesome.
Oh my goodness. If you like laughter. Yes, go ahead.
So yesterday I go up the street to pick my kids up from school. Really, it's just for Eller to like give me a hey bro and walk right past me.
Yes.
But Greer wants to be like have a reception, so I'm there talking to my 2 buddies that I always talk to there in the corner. And we look back kind of across the street, and there's smoke coming out of a flower bed over here.
Okay.
Now, at first, it's like, okay, that's odd. But then the smoke started getting like more and bigger. So I just walked over there. Dude, there was like some embers in this guy's flower bed, like the mulch fucking on fire, dude.
What the hell?
Guess who fucking stomped it out? Covered it up with more mulch, stomped it out, risked life and limb and my shoe.
Did he run out and go, dude, what the hell you doing?
Yeah, I was trying to set my flower bed on fire. You dickhead.
Haven't you ever heard of singe planting?
Yeah. Some like obscure European. So anyway, I don't know. I know that history will decide whether I'm a hero or not, but it felt pretty heroic to me.
You're a hero in our eyes, Eric. Did you know how it got started? Did it just spontaneously combust?
No, I wasn't able to go back in time like Madame Web. Or she goes forward in time or whatever.
He does a lot of shit. Yeah.
So no, I don't. And I tried to, the guy's garage door was open and I tried to yell in there like, hey, douche, your fucking flowers are on fire.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, but by that point, all the kids were coming out. So I just had to go walk back across the street to pick the kids up. So I don't know.
That's one of the things you see in Texas. You don't see that shit in Ohio. That's all I can say. I don't.
It was like spontaneously combusting.
I've never seen a garden spontaneously combust in Ohio. Anyway, Eric, a hero to all garden club members everywhere. And there we go.
Thank you.
Well, use the sound effects while I can. So welcome everyone to Box Office Battles with Greg and Eric. If you've never watched the show or you've never listened to the podcast, we take two films and we make them go head to head. We do a bracket style tournament with each category. And we do this, every other week or so, and depending on when my eyeball goes out and I have to have surgery. But what we want to say is thank you for listening, whether you do that on a podcast provider. We are on all of them pretty much. We're on Spotify. We're on Amazon Music. We're on Apple Podcasts. Thank you. If you are listening on one of those, please subscribe to those so that you can always get the new episodes when they come in, and it helps our numbers and it lets us know that people are listening, and that's a nice thing. Also, if you're just watching the YouTube live stream, thank you. Always leave a comment, like that as well. Make sure you subscribe. This is the standard stuff that everybody has to do in this world of social media. And we don't have a sponsor per se. What are you drinking, Eric? That's our sponsor for this week.
Simple Truth, free from. It just says free from AIDS. Yes.
I'm
almost certain it doesn't have AIDS.
Well, that's what I said.
Almost certain.
Almost certain.
It's vapor distilled water with electrolytes for added taste. It's got what plants crave. Which is
so you stomped on the plants and you took their water. Good one, Eric. I'm starting to rethink this old hero thing.
I don't like those bottles that are like real crinkly, and they started caring about how much plastic we were putting into the earth as if I was going to live long enough to see the repercussions of that. Sorry, don't give a fuck. But these this have quite a heft to it. I really like this, like you can't really squeeze it.
What was that?
That was me trying to squeeze the water bottle.
I'm not so sure. Anyway, to finish up, if you have any suggestions for us, you can email us at boxofficebattles, all one word, @gmail.com. And again, if you listen just to the podcast and you'd like to catch the live stream, you can find us on Twitch at Box Office Battle Pod or on YouTube at Box Office Battle Podcast. So let's get into it. New category. We finished up movie bans a few weeks ago, and now we are going back into some bad movies. We try to do at least one category of bad films every season. This is season 2, so these are our bad, stinking movies. And we're doing the worst Marvel movies ever made. Now, that being said, the MCU is kind of a little bit of an offshoot of Marvel films because of when Marvels first started getting made, 20th Century Fox was involved. I'm going to give you a brief history lesson. Sony was involved with the Spider-Man franchises, and they were doing their best, but not necessarily doing a great job. The first couple of X-Men films were good. When the MCU started, where Marvel started making their own films under the moniker of Marvel Studios, that's when we got kind of the really good ones. The Iron Man series and, the Avengers and all that good stuff, Thor, Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton and all that, and so forth. And then we got the mishmash. And then somewhere along the way after Avengers Endgame, they started just cranking them out without any rhyme or reason. And there's some bad movies in that. The Marvels comes to mind, not particularly one of my favorites, and some others. This isn't necessarily that. These are the films that we just went through IMDb and what is the worst ranked Marvel films. All of these are done either by Sony or 20th Century Fox, with the exception of one. So we're going to run through them real quick. You look at the top left, that's tonight's movies. It is the number 1 seed, Madam Web, going up against X-Men Dark Phoenix. We're also going to have Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance against Elektra. That's the 4 and the 5 seeds. The Josh Trank debacle with Michael B. Jordan, Fantastic Four, is the 2 seed. That's going up against the recent Kraven the Hunter. A throwback, the only one that was not done by Sony or 20th Century Fox was Howard the Duck from like 1984, somewhere around there. That's the 3 seed, and that'll be going up against everybody's favorite, Jared Leto in Morbius. But tonight we do have the X-Men Dark Phoenix versus Madame Web. And apparently Eric liked one of these. I'm going to say right off the bat, I hate both of these films. I've watched them once. I think one of them I had stopped. So this was the first time I watched it all the way through. And I think it was Dark Phoenix. I never made it through the first time because I'm watching it with my wife. I made my wife watch these with me. And I'm watching it and I'm like, I don't remember this. I must have turned it off at the train sequence because I just couldn't. I tapped out. And
you're just being a hater, which you're notorious for.
Yeah, that's what I'm notorious for. Let me tell you something as far as these movies are concerned. I am a self-professed nerd. We have talked about this. I have been collecting comics since I was about 9 years old. My brother was in the Navy. He went to Australia and he got like a huge box of really old comics that he found for like in a shop somewhere and for very cheap. And he brought them back to me from Australia.
Well, brag about it.
And that started me. And a bunch of them were Spider-Man and X-Men. So I'm a Spider-Man and X-Men junkie. And I've got a picture here. If you look at that, this is my comic book collection. Yes, I am a nerd. The ones on the second row from the bottom are all X-Men. The bottom row is all Spider-Man. And then the rest is just DC, Marvel, whatever else.
Well, look at them going to good use there in your basement.
Well, I mean, that's a good place for them. I'm not going to keep them in the dining room.
Well, what are they for? Like, what are they for? If you can't enjoy them because they're in boxes, are they an investment?
They have to be in boxes. If I just had them willy-nilly everywhere, then they'd just be scattered. They got to keep them safe. Got to keep them in their bags.
Order any shit from the back of comic books? Did you ever do that?
Yes.
Okay, so what did you get? And was it like total bullshit?
I really wanted the X-Men eyes, or the X-ray eyes, the X-ray eyes, because I wanted to see girls naked when
vaginas.
I really wanted that. And then when I realized it was just a cardboard in lenses with just a pinhole through it, I was greatly disappointed. That's when I learned that people will scam you, that there's some dishonest people out there. Perving is okay, but scamming,
right? You draw the line.
Yes.
It was the hypocrisy that was the worst.
Exactly.
I didn't, because I didn't read comic books growing up. Also, I don't think I've seen any Marvel movies ever. Maybe. Okay, there's a Hulk movie, or a movie that Hulk is in, where he picks up Lord Black Cape and like slams him around.
Yes, that's the first Avengers movie.
Okay, so I've seen that.
Talking about Hulk doing that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Who's he throwing around? Loki.
Yes.
Captain Dark Cape. And
Dark Cape with the horns.
And so I don't have any background knowledge of any of these movies. And so I'm like looking at this. Is this Dark Phoenix supposed to be something that happens before the fuck? Like, what the fuck was this, dude?
Exactly. That's what I ask myself every time I watch it. I have a real quick comment here from @GameFreakness. Where's Thor: Love and Thunder is what he's asking. And yes, I'm not a big fan of that movie either. And just these ones like that just came out with the MCU, like the Eternals, Marvels, Thor: Love and Thunder, they rated just a little bit higher on IMDb on these. We may do another category with these really other shitty ones, because there's so many bad comic book movies out there, but these were the top 8 as far as the worst ever, and that's why some of the newer ones didn't make it, but they just missed out. But I'm not a big fan of Thor: Love and Thunder as well. And that's one of the newer ones I was discussing. But anyway, So this is what happens when you have Marvel Studios and they do their own thing, separate, and the 20th Century Fox people have the rights to the X-Men, and Sony has the rights to, or Columbia, whichever, or they're the same thing in this case, have the rights to Spider-Man. So Madam Web is in the Spider-Verse, X-Men are in the X-Men universe, and the MCU is by itself. The only time these two meet is when Sony loaned Spider-Man to the MCU for the Avengers film.
What?
I feel like I'm conducting class, but this is
I don't really care about all that. I mean, I do. But what aren't the X-Men like Wolverine and the fucking Brick guy, or is that the Fantastic Four?
Brick guy is the Fantastic Four. The Steel guy is in X-Men. This is fun. I'm enjoying this.
Well,
the Steel guy's Colossus. He's in the X-Men, but the guy with all the rocks is the Thing, and he's in Fantastic Four.
Well, where the fuck was Wolverine? Because I feel like had he been part of it,
he wasn't.
We don't have to go through half of this bullshit.
That's a good point. He was not in the X-Men at this point in time. This was this movie starts in what, 1977, and then it fast forwards to 1990, 92. They do
What do you mean he wasn't a part? He was in the comic books that you have from when you were a kid.
So
what the fuck?
This is gonna be good. Oh, trying to explain this is fun. So when they did the original X-Men movies, Wolverine was a part of that team. Wolverine actually, and Nightcrawler, Colossus, Jean Grey and Cyclops are in it, but Storm, they were part of the second X-Men team in the comics. The first X-Men team was Marvel Girl, which is Jean Grey, Cyclops, Iceman, Beast, who didn't have his blue fur, and Angel, the guy with the wings. That was the original 5 X-Men. Well, when they decided to make an X-Men movie, they didn't want to do a movie with those guys. They wanted Wolverine because Wolverine had come out and was selling all kinds of comics. Why would we do a movie without Wolverine? So they fast forward to do Wolverine's origin story. They kind of effed up the whole comic thing because they made Rogue a teenager, which she wasn't, which anyway.
Okay, you're getting into like comic book guy from The Simpsons a little bit.
Well, you asked for
and according to my calculations,
you asked.
I'm asking. I just don't want you to get so esoteric that I stop following.
So anyway, when the original cast of the films decided they weren't going to do anymore, they decided to go back in time and do X-Men First Class, which is the originals. So these are younger versions of the ones from the early 2000 films. So you have a younger Jean Grey, younger Cyclops. You have young Nightcrawler, which is weird. But anyway, so they made Professor X younger with James McAvoy, and then they had Michael Fassbender come in and play Magneto, when the first one's Patrick Stewart. So yes, it kind of messes up the whole timeline. So this is when they were desperately trying to hold on to the X-Men license. And then Dark Phoenix came along, and basically the only good thing about this film is that it was so bad at the box office, and it's such a bad film. It's a piece of shit. It's so bad that Fox decided they were done making these movies, done taking a bath, and so now the rights have reverted to the MCU, and they have the X-Men to put in with the rest of the universe. Whether they make a good movie or not, we'll see. But we do know that the original X-Men cast, including, I believe, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, is going to be in the new Avengers movie. So this will be the first time they will have merged with the MCU. So we'll see how that goes. This is a piece of garbage. I mean, I'm a huge X-Men fan, and as you can evidence by my gigantic collection, again, on the screen for you to enjoy. Look at that. That's thousands of dollars there. But I actually was a big fan of the Dark Phoenix storyline because it's arguably in comics the best X-Men storyline there's ever been.
What?
It is an amazing story. In fact, I have one of the issues right here in bag.
Look at you.
Look at that. This one, I can't remember how much I paid for it, but it wasn't cheap. But I do love the storyline. Chris Claremont was an amazing writer of the time. This was in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. Let me look at the date there. Yeah, 82 is this one. So yeah, so it was late 70s, early 80s when the Phoenix started. And it was a great storyline. And I think they've tried twice now to do this on film, written by the same asshole. So Simon Kinberg came on board to do the third X-Men film after the first two had done really, really well. They turned it over to this hack who was a horrible writer. And he tried to write a Dark Phoenix storyline in X-Men The Last Stand with the older cast, with Phoenix turning rogue and she ends up killing Cyclops, which is dumb as shit. And in this one, they let the son of a bitch do it again. They decided, all right, you screwed up that story. So now we're going to go back in time and let you do a whole nother Dark Phoenix storyline and let you get this wrong.
They killed Cyclops?
In the third one, yeah, in X-Men The Last Stand.
He never saw it coming, huh?
No, he never saw it coming.
Because it came from his periphery.
It was X-Men The Last Stand is one of my most hated films, and this one beats it. It's just because it insults everything that there is about the X-Men
and movies.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's so cliched and so hacked, but that's Simon Kinberg. And if you've ever seen one of his films, he's done some of the worst out there. So look up his IMDb. Let's just see what he's done.
He looks like a fucking douchebag.
He is a douchebag. This is the kind of thing where I asked my wife, she's like, well, why does he keep making movies? I said, because he does everything the studios ask.
Okay, but wait a second.
Run right over him.
He did Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That's a good movie.
Is it though? I mean, is it though?
That movie at the very least had like an interesting premise to it. It had Brad Pitt in it.
Yeah, the 355, which was the recent Lady Spy movie that rippled and farted and left. He did X-Men Apocalypse, a horrible film. He did the Fantastic Four, also on our list.
He did Deadpool?
No, he didn't do Deadpool.
Bullshit.
No, he's a producer on Deadpool. That shit don't count.
Oh,
that's just somebody that put their name on the credits because you're working with Marvel Studios.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay. I don't know.
Well,
you think about movies,
he also wrote Triple X State of the Union, the one with Ice Cube. That is probably one of the worst Ice Cube films, or one of the worst action films ever made. It's so cheesy. I never made it through it. If you like Triple X State of the Union,
I do like Triple X
State of the Union. Oh well, yeah. Well, okay.
If you want a Triple X throwdown, you dial 1-900 Mix-a-Lot.
Got something in your throat there.
I know. I was going through puberty.
Till it comes. But yeah, so Simon Kinberg.
This guy is a Golden Globe Award winner. What are you talking about?
He wrote X-Men The Last Stand, Triple X State of the Union, Jumper, The Fantastic Four, X-Men Apocalypse, and X-Men Dark Phoenix. All of these films are just absolute dog shit.
The Martian? Oh,
no, he didn't write
producer. Okay, he's a producer on this. This is confusing.
That would be the only way.
It's one giant table. I don't know.
Well, you got to go down to where it says writer. So there, you got to go down to writer.
He has two sons.
Fuck them. Anyway, they must be ashamed of their father to write such crappy comic book movies.
All right, first of all, this movie, like, we're talking about the worst movies, and you went on IMDb and just picked the lowest ranked ones or something like that.
Yes, and this is the 8th seed. So,
but this had a budget of 200 million. Box office was 252, which means it definitely lost money because of marketing
and everything.
You know, whatever else. But making 252, I mean, I know you had to spend 200 million to make 252, and those margins aren't great, but it feels like that's not so bad. Was it just going on name recognition? Nerds like you just wanted to go see more?
Yes. The word of mouth after this came out, I did not go see it in the theater because I saw Apocalypse, which is the one before this, and it was bad. And I was like, as long as his name's on it, I'm done. I'm so glad he should not be involved with any more going forward. He's a piece of garbage. Anyway, it's just a hack film. I mean, if you've seen it, you know, it's got all the elements of everything that's ever been done before. I was talking to somebody today about comic book movies, and they were like, all comic book movies are the same. And I'm like, I beg to differ. Well, they are. They're just the person getting the powers and blah blah. And I'm like, yes, that's the
Oh
formula.
shit! You started like blowing up. Like what? What?
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't get riled up. I just said, well, I said, yes, that's the formula for most crappy superhero films. But the MCU, when they came along and Jon Favreau did Iron Man, for us comic book nerds, that was a godsend. It had humor in it. It's not a perfect superhero film, but it was something that better than anything else that had come before. It has depth of characterization, has great action sequences. And then they just started to build a universe similar to the X-Men and the Spider-Man universe in Marvel Comics and the other universes out there. So I really enjoyed the MCU when it started going up until Endgame. And now we're just seeing where it goes from here. I don't know where it'll go. These other films, some are good, some are bad. X-Men 2 are pretty decent. The Spider-Man, the original ones with Tobey Maguire, not too bad. Spider-Man 3 is atrocious, and everybody kind of agrees on this, that they weren't bad, they just weren't great. But then it just they started throwing these together. And the thing about the X-Men universe is they had a deal. As long as they continued to make a movie like every 2 years, they got to keep the rights. That was put into Marvel's original deal when they signed over the rights to the X-Men. So 20th Century Fox figured we got to keep doing these, otherwise. And so they didn't really give a crap if they were good or not. They just needed them out quickly. And that's why this thing is a piece of trash. I mean, they've already done this story and they're just repeating. They're just rehashing it.
Well, throwing $200 million is something that you don't really give a fuck about is a lot of money, though, like to budget for this thing.
Look at what they're putting in movies nowadays anyway. That's like a drop in the bucket for some tentpole films that they think because of name recognition. It reminds me of like when private equity buys a freaking Applebee's and uses the name and then just runs it into the ground. That's what they're doing with this property. They're like, we can put out the crappiest movie. These X-Men nerds will go watch it and we'll keep doing it until they stop watching it. And then we'll declare a loss and then we'll move on.
And to you, this is like Applebee's.
This is like equity, like when a private equity firm buys a known entity. I just used Applebee's as an example. And
I
then,
like that though.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, no, private equity is the fucking worst. So is capitalism. So whatever.
I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going down in the road of anti-capitalist propaganda, but I'm not a very big fan of private equity.
All right, so let me ask you some more questions about this fucking piece of trash movie.
Yes.
Are we supposed to know at the beginning why this lady has telekinesis or whatever power how does she get it?
She's a mutant. That's it. She's a mutant.
That's fucking stupid. Like
she's a mutant. That's it.
No, but that's
it. That's all you need.
Common in the universe is just people born with weird things.
The thing with the X-Men universe is what made it special was the fact that the X-Men mutant universe, the superheroes that were taught and trained by Charles Xavier, who was also born with abilities. It was all a political statement of its time that was ahead of its time, that was reflecting of the racial tensions in America. It was people that couldn't help the way they were born, and they were born with gifts. Sometimes they made them look deformed. Sometimes they didn't look like other people, but they became the other. And what this did was they became shunned by society. Charles Xavier, who is the Professor X, takes them all in, calls them his X-Men, teaches them how to use their powers responsibly so they could be an example that they are there to benefit mankind, not to destroy it. And then you get assholes like Magneto. Well, not really an asshole off and on, but you get guys like Magneto who want to use their powers to dominate mankind, form a brotherhood of evil mutants, and then you get good guys versus bad guys.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
But like, so later in the film, who does she kill? Who's this X person she kills?
Oh, yeah. So this is a whole nother thing. I won't go too deep into it. Jennifer Lawrence played Mystique. And when they started doing these prequel films, Mystique was really, and originally she's a villain that what they did for the prequel films is they made her one of the X-Men, and because it's Jennifer Lawrence, when she first started doing the films, she wasn't a big box office draw, so she did them, and then she was under contract to do like 5 more. And so what ended up happening was they had to milk the fact that Jennifer Lawrence is in these films and she's a star, so they made Mystique, her superhero character, like the centerpiece of all these films because they wanted their Wolverine. Does that make sense? Even though the character's not that great, it's okay character. She's a shapeshifter. She can like be anybody she wants. And yeah, she's not.
Okay,
No.
so they kill her in this one, and so she doesn't appear in any of the others, or there were no others.
This is the last one of the Fox. So yeah, she's in First Class. She is in the other one. She's in Days of Future Past. She's in Apocalypse, which is all the.
This says her name is Ravenclaw or something.
Raven Darkholme.
You are such a nerd.
I know. I can't help it.
But
yes, that's Mystique. That's her given name. But anyway, they really focus on Jennifer Lawrence so much, and she did not want to do this film, and she's basically sleepwalking through it.
Yeah,
and she mercifully gets killed. She gets to leave. She said when she was going to do it, this was her last one, she was only going to give them a certain amount of time. So they immediately wrote her out of the film and killed her character and tried to make her character the catalyst that everybody revolves around to get revenge. And it's just so shitty. It's done so poorly. But one of the things I wanted to say, going back to Jean Grey and her powers, is that she's young in the opening scene. And this would crack me up. I start off with a laugh, is the fact that she's in the back seat and on her parents' road trip in the 70s. And her mom puts on Glenn Campbell's By the Time I Left Phoenix. And the girl keeps using her mind to change the radio station. And her mom is like, what's going on? She says, it's not me. And eventually she takes the whole car and just flips it into an oncoming semi truck. And I thought it was funny. I'm like, the girl doesn't like Glenn Campbell, so she decides to kill her own mother.
Wichita Lineman is kind of an overrated drolling song. Yeah.
Oh no.
It's kind of like the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Like we just like it because we're supposed to, and everybody told us. Everyone told us our whole lives that we had to like it.
I don't think we can be friends anymore.
I didn't grow up on the Great Lakes. Like
I did. And
I know. So maybe that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah, like my favorite artist.
Welcome to the last episode of Box Office with Greg and Eric.
Because I insulted fucking Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah, exactly. Even Mike is like, "Oh, you went there." And Wichita Lineman, which by the way is a masterpiece. But anyway, we got to talk about X-Men.
Well, okay, so then listen, this is all I can like. I don't understand any of this. I don't understand any of the background.
You up.
I don't understand why there's a Chewbacca looking guy. I don't understand. I don't fucking understand why they killed that one off. It makes sense now, but I'm like, why don't we need these people to be in other X-Men movies?
The killing of her is so ridiculous too. It's just like she's trying to help her and she just throws her into a house and she gets impaled on the it's just garbage.
Yeah, like a skid steer or something.
This scene right here that's on the screen right now, they have a jet that can fly like a jet. And they're told they have to go into space to help a space shuttle mission. And the one guy goes, well, it's not fitted for space. And then 5 minutes later, they're in space.
Well, they fitted it, and you didn't see that part.
I guess not. It was.
But I think them fitting their spaceship or their airplane to go into space would have been more interesting. Like 30 minutes of that.
Well, it's just
whatever I watched.
Why didn't they have the spaceship that they could go up in? I just thought that was ridiculous. And then here in the scene that's on the screen, none of them have any spacesuits on. They're in 0G. It's just like it was a MacGuffin that they used to get the power of the Phoenix into Jean Grey. And it's just stupid. It's not done right compared to how the comics do it. They do go into space in the comics. Don't get me wrong. but there's a whole deal. It could have been built up to, and that's how they do it in the comics. You don't have to rush everything into one film, and that's the thing I think hurts comic book films is that what a lot of people don't get is that comic books are very similar to soap operas in a way. They set the groundwork for future stories year in advance, like they do on a soap opera or a daytime, nighttime soap opera or a serial type show. So the MCU does it right, where they kind of set these movies up with previous films. And this is just a matter of let's just go in, do 2 hours and try to rush through this epic storyline that you can't do in 2 hours. So that's why it's a mess.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. That's a common complaint for any book or novel or series or anything that has to be adapted and, put onto film. And you got to leave out some parts, like making a spaceship space worthy, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Like, this movie had a $200 million budget, and I feel like they spent $185 million of it on this fucking 30-minute long fight scene here at the end. And it was just, man, if they could have made that part 10 minutes long and used some of that money to do like anything else with the movie, then that would have been fucking rad. But I was looked up at one point and was like, they're still doing this? I was like responding to an email, and I look at, they're still fighting. They're fighting too much.
Well, let's discuss who they're fighting. The people they end up getting engaged with are these yuppies that are just having a dinner party, and they end up getting possessed by aliens as they go out there and hear something in the woods. So they're all wearing like dinner attire. They're the most non-threatening villains that I've ever seen in a film. It's ridiculous.
I think that makes it more scary when it's like
well,
white,
maybe
white people.
White. One of the leaders was a black guy, so it's like
that's real scary.
If they were all like Karens, then maybe you would have a point there. But they were just yuppies. It was, and so. Why don't you just show them as freaking aliens? It was the fact that they felt they had to have this other set of villains. In the comics, the main villain is the Phoenix. She has gone crazy and she's obsessed. This power has entered her and she becomes godlike and loses her freaking mind. She starts off doing good in the comics. She's regular as Phoenix. She just becomes Phoenix. She's got all these great powers, but it starts to corrupt her. Eventually, it becomes this thing of, do we let her get too powerful? Because eventually she's going to go so powerful that she may destroy mankind. It's so much better done when you do it the right way. And this doesn't even approach any of that. She gets the power in her, and we really don't get any, sense of what it's doing to her other than it's making her a little bit more powerful.
Kind of moody.
Yeah. And makes her a bad actress. I don't know. Makes her very wooden when she talks. I guess. I don't know. Let's be honest. The Sophie Turner, who was in Game of Thrones, that plays Jean Grey, I loved her in Game of Thrones. I don't think the girl can act. I think that her scenes are very stiff. So, but that's just what it is.
I never saw Game of Thrones.
I know you have not.
But okay, so the weird thing about Game of Thrones is like everybody talked about it all the time and would never, ever, ever shut the fuck up about it until the last season, and now no one will even like admit to liking the show.
Because last season was absolute
because they fucked it up. All right, so like, I don't know. I mean, I don't go into superhero movies or movies like this with some expectation that it's groundbreaking cinema.
Yeah,
and I don't feel like every little inaccuracy needs to be explained away. Like, you're allowed to suspend some, part of, so I go into these even knowing that they were selected based on how bad they are.
Right.
I go into them going, okay, but then, and also you and I have to choose which was worse, or I guess that's what we have to do, right, for this.
Yes.
So
which one's the worst?
And I go into it going, okay, well, what redeeming qualities does it have, right? And I couldn't find anything, man. I didn't understand any of this. And I don't even think, I mean, I guess maybe having some solid background in being a fucking dork might have helped, but I don't think it would have helped a lot. It sounds like that having that background only made you more disappointed in the movie than less disappointed.
Yeah.
I wasn't disappointed though, because I didn't have any like basis of knowledge to work off of. This movie just fucking sucks, dude.
It's true. It's true. Even if there was nothing to base it on, no source material, it's just a bunch of words thrown together that doesn't have any cohesion. It's a lot of different action sequences. It's what's everything that's wrong, what that people don't like about comic book movies. So if people go, comic movies are garbage, here's why, and they show this, you can't argue with it. Because you're showing one of the worst. And again, we've got 8 of these to go through. I just realized that. I'm just going to say, I had both of these movies, we had to try to have fun with it because I didn't want to watch them. I had already watched them and I'm like, what am I getting myself into? So we got popcorn from the local theater. We got a big giant bag of popcorn, tried to have fun with it. And we sat down. And both of these, I had to take breaks, like 20 minutes in. All right, I got to do something. It's like, just that because I was traumatized. Like I had to just go outside and breathe some fresh air because it was so annoyingly bad. And there's some people that this is perfect for. They just want pretty noises and colors and everything. And that's fine. If you enjoy it, I don't care. But for me, it's like, we talk about source material. It's like when you screw up a good book, which happens all the time. People read the book and then they go to the movie and it's completely different. And that's what they've done here is that they don't understand it. They don't understand what the fans love about it. They just know it's a material that we'll go see because it's got the name on it. So they forget why we actually love it. And I grew up, like I said, 9 years old, I've been collecting and I've read these stories back to front when I was growing up as a kid. I don't do it anymore. I think the last comic I really bought was when I was in my late 20s. And I was like, okay, I got kids now. I'm going to put these away and look at them occasionally. And occasionally I'll pull them out and check them out, look at them. But yeah, I've got some that are really worth quite a bit. That just because I've had them, I've been collecting since the early 80s, but I've gone back and collected a lot of 70s stuff. So I've got some that are pretty decent value. I think the most expensive comic I got is $10,000.
What?
Yeah, I got a CGC graded at a 9.8 first appearance of Gambit, the mutant X-Men. So
Gambit? Grommet?
Gambit.
Grommel. Grommet.
Anyway.
Okay, I just agree with almost everything you said about that, except for the part where you said, like, this movie isn't made for anybody, dude. There's nobody. Nobody. And I don't mean because it's like, yes, I get that people listen. It's like Nickelback, right? You just have to appeal to the lowest common denominator. You don't have to do anything interesting. Just get a bunch of think about how stupid the average person is and just realize that half of the people on earth are even stupider than that. Like, you just have to sell to those people, right. But even those people would be insulted by this because you can't just blink lights in front of them and play loud sounds and expect them to feel like they were entertained. And this wasn't entertaining.
No.
And maybe it could be argued that like Schindler's List didn't entertain me as much as it would just like held, like in the sense of enjoyment of going to see a movie, right? Like, no one's gonna act like, I mean, who vote? It's got a 5.7. People think this movie's average.
Yeah.
This movie's not average.
No.
This movie sucks. This movie's just blinking lights and loud noises for no fucking reason, to be confusing. It feels like on purpose to take advantage of an audience that has to go spend money to go watch this thing, and you knew you could fucking trick them, and that's dishonest, and it's stupid, and it's mean-spirited, and yeah, I hate this guy too, but I hate the studio for doing this too.
I like Michael Fassbender, but this scene here that's on the screen is one of it's just exemplifies the ridiculousness. He's the master of magnetism, but yet he feels the need to pick up 6 automatic machine guns and just go to town on the soldiers that he's fighting or the aliens that he's fighting. He's the master of magnetism. He could do anything he wanted with that train. And yet that's what he does. He's one of the most powerful mutants in the universe, but it's all for show. There's no substance. It's all for show. Before we move on to, and there's Mike in there saying it's a tough one to get through. It really is. Before we go to Madam Web, I have a couple of clips just for our enjoyment. I have the scene that made me roll my eyes the hardest, and then the scene that I just laughed completely, couldn't stop laughing. I think I rewound it 4 times. So let's take a look.
All right. Fine.
This is the one that made me roll my eyes.
And I care about their safety. Just as
Where is it?
It's coming.
You
It's
sure
coming. There
about
we go.
that? Because we're taking bigger and bigger risks. And for what? Please, tell me it's not your ego. Being on the cover of magazines, getting a medal from the president. You like it, don't you?
As opposed to being hunted and despised. Well, actually I do. It's all just a means to an end, Raven.
What end is that?
Keeping us safe.
Oh,
You should
Lord.
understand better than anyone that we're only ever one bad day away from them starting to see us as the enemy again.
So what? We wear matching costumes and smile in pictures
That
to
is
make
a
everyone
small
feel
price
safe?
to pay for keeping the peace.
By risking our people to save theirs.
Yes, yes.
It's funny. I can't actually remember the last time you were the one risking something. And by the way, the women are always saving the men around here. You might want to think about changing the name to ex-women.
I mean, do I have to say anything more? It's
so schlocky and stupid.
it's so eye rolling because, again, if you know anything about the comic, they wear costumes for a reason. They make fun of that. They just shit on anything that people like about the comic, and it's like. And I like Jennifer Lawrence. I think she's a fantastic actress, but she definitely didn't want to be in this film. And that line is like, really?
She might as well just, and also Black Lives Matter. Like, it felt pretty shoehorned in there. And don't anybody write me about anything, because I'm not making any type of statement about what it means or what it is. I'm just saying it felt pretty shoehorned in there. And also, don't forget, what was that Wall Street thing? The fucking, what was that, like 10, 15 years ago? And
oh, the 1%.
Oh, Occupy Wall Street. Yeah,
yes.
She might as well have just dropped that in there too.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
She could have waved a pride flag. It was just pandering at its finest, and it really had nothing to do with what was being said. And I don't want to get into all the aspects of how stupid that whole monologue was in the realm of what Charles Xavier is in the comics and whatever. And they try to set this whole thing up like he's the bad guy, and he's the founder and the leader. And it just kept getting more and more piled on until he goes, it is my fault. No, just shut up. Now I will play, before we get into Madam Web, I'm going to play my favorite scene. I rewound this over and over again. There is a character that's just invented. She's not in the comic books. She's like Magneto's right-hand man. They don't even give her a name. She doesn't get a line, but she's just always there next to him. And it's like she doesn't do anything significant in the plot. She's just there. She's got a shaved head, the little tattoo. And for some reason, they gave her the most unceremonious death of anybody in the entire film. And I love this scene. My wife was like, all right, you have to stop rewinding it. I'm like, this is too funny. So let's check this out. This is really quick. Hold on. I'm getting the hang of these newfangled controls.
What are you trying to do?
I know what I'm doing now.
Play a record?
It's a video file. All right, here we go. He's right there. Goes up. Paints his ass. Look, I'm here. I'm your hero.
That's what we call getting yeeted out of a train. She got yeeted.
I watched that over and over. I absolutely love that scene.
Just
Here she comes. Oh, she didn't even have a name.
grabbed her head like a basketball, and just palmed it,
I don't even know who did it.
and just chucked her. Just chucked her right out.
And you don't ever see her again.
Yeah, well, listen, easy come, easy go, right?
Oh, what the hell?
When we're inventing characters
Oh, that's crazy.
for no reason.
It is a shitty film. But
All right, yeah,
so-
this film sucks.
Now the next one is our number one seed, and that is the Dakota Johnson vehicle. Again, the same thing with the Spider Universe is that Sony had to keep making these films, these Spider Universe films, or they would lose the rights to Spider-Man. They're still making them. They continue to crank these sons of bitches out, and this was one of the latest. And it was definitely like not received extremely well at all. They had a bunch of buzz that came up with this film when it was out. They had some interesting shots of the Spider Women, and then it turned out to just be actually a pile of crap. And so now,
No, it didn't.
So, all right, let's before I say my piece on this film. I think you like this film.
Yeah. Look, this film is fucking corny. There were large parts of it that don't make any sense. There's parts of it, obviously, that made me like roll my eyes. And I mean, some of the sets, like when she revisits where she was born, and it like looks like a high school musical, like, set dressing. Like, I get it. I get why it's problematic. It's corny as fuck. But like, at least they were trying to do something. These people tried to do something. They made a shitty movie. There were so many things that could have done better. But my God, at least I found myself entertained. At least there was a story I could follow along with. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. Her mom got bit by a spider during childbirth. Like, I get it. That's all fucking stupid. Like, and it took me a long time to figure out, like, what is this bad guy and why is he so overpowered and whatever. Like, I get it, but they fucking tried. In X-Men Dark Phoenix, they didn't try shit. They just were like, which characters can we put into this movie? It's like putting silverware in a dryer, and you just turn it on, and you just, it all just clangs around for a little while, and 2 hours later it's over. At least Madam Web, they fucking tried. Okay. All right, listen,
I could buy that.
You're on delay right now. We are delayed. You are like frozen up. You're blurry.
Okay, I got you. It's probably. Oh, you're blurry.
We are blurry. We are blurry. Somebody's bandwidth is getting
we are. All right.
Screwed up.
Probably yours.
I can't work like this. No, it's you.
All right, then.
I'm logging out.
Take a break.
We'll come back in.
All right, we'll take a quick break.
All right.
There we go.
Oh, it says uploads in progress. This happens like when we're.
Oh, yeah.
This happens when we're at the end of the night, like talking after the show sometimes.
Yeah. All right. Just go back out and come back in.
Hey, wait, it says leave and open uploads page or stay in studio. Greg.
Yes.
If I click leave studio, it says leave and open the uploads page or stay in studio? We recommend staying in the studio until all recordings have successfully uploaded. What does that mean?
So, are we synced back up again?
Maybe.
All right. I'm testing. Testing. Can you hear me?
I mean, I can hear you, but it's like, how long ago
Is
did
it
you say
delayed
that?
still?
You know, yeah, it's delayed. Why are we
I have no
delayed?
idea. I have no idea.
I can turn my video off.
Nope. There you go.
Well, I turned my video off wondering if help.
Yeah. No. Yes.
Maybe.
Technical
Sure,
difficulties, everybody.
you're
We're trying to figure this
you're very choppy.
out. It doesn't
but
make
maybe-
any sense.
But maybe I am too on your end.
No, you're good on my end.
Very weird.
Yep.
I'm good on my end too. Let me see something.
I tell you what we can do is I'll
can
try
go-
some things on my end offline.
I put
And
my
we can
camera on
do-
low definition.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few things we can try to not be so bandwidth heavy.
Is your background meant to be blurry, or is it
It is, but I can
how you set it up?
unblurry it.
I just don't know if that has any effect. So we'll see. If we can't get it fixed, we can resume with Madam Web like next week or something. Can you see?
Well,
me now?
I just want to make sure that we're not like talking all over each other because there's
Oh
a
yeah,
delay.
no. I want to make sure too. So if I need to do some things on my end with the internet, we can do that. What's it like now?
I feel like it's working now. Say something.
Something.
Okay. We seem to be closer to synced up.
Okay. Well, let's go with it then. We'll
Okay.
continue.
All right.
All right. So you were saying how, and I was going to answer to that Madam Web, at least they're trying something here instead of Dark Phoenix, which is really.
Oh,
just,
are we still live? Everybody had to hear us like working through all of our drama.
Yeah, I mean, I have got no way of like muting our mics when we're both trying to work on something unless I just muted and got off the phone,
You look so good now.
Oh, really? Well, thank you.
Yeah, you always have. I mean, but yeah. Okay. Yes, at least these people tried. So, whatever.
So here's the thing about Madam Web. It doesn't insult me as much. I'm not a fan of the film. I think it's just another throwaway film that is trying to capitalize on the Spider-Man name and theme. And there's parts of it that I laugh at it more than I do Dark Phoenix. I thought it was more of a comedy, an unintentional comedy, than I did a real film. This is a picture of the actual Madam Web in the comics. So if you could see that on the screen, if I like zoom that up, she's a very older lady that sits in a chair and can see into other dimensions, and she can see into the future. She's like a psychic. She's like what's Teresa Caputo of comic book world.
Who the fuck is that?
You know Teresa Caputo? She's a psychic. She's like the most famous psychic out there.
Okay, I have some bad news for you.
Yeah, what is it?
She's not really a psychic.
What?
She does cold reading.
Well, she knew the name of my dead dog, and that's all I'm saying.
Man, come on. Fucking even.
But anyway, so the fact that they cast Dakota Johnson, this is a character, though, by the way, in comics that is such a minor character. She has a couple of issues here and there. It's just the fact that they're doing a film about her, it just shows you how desperate they're trying to really dig into the well to bring up Spider-Man characters to do films on. That's my only thing about it. It just really insults. There was a couple of things I want to point out that I really didn't like about the film. Is I do like the Spider Women thing. I like that they have the different Spider Women, and this is an image on the still of a Julia Sweeney and the other two young ladies in their Spider-Man costumes. What really pissed me off about this film is you get to see them kick Spider ass in one scene. It's an effing dream sequence, and you never see it again. You never see them. I thought the girl with the spider coming to her backs looked cool.
Yo, that's the point of this movie. It's a origin story. It's supposed to be that way.
I don't need a 2-hour origin story anymore.
No.
Ridiculous. I don't need that.
You can say, why are we digging up characters? But like Star Wars dug up fucking Andor, the guy who steals the plans to destroy the Death Star. And that's one of the best fucking Star Wars series that ever got made.
After Star Wars, if they did Andor first, it would have freaking sucked because they would have been like, what the hell is this all about? I got no idea what the Empire is. I don't know what these robots are. So it comes after the fact. If you want to do an origin prequel about the freaking Madam Web, do it.
Okay, I didn't know that there was no other Madam Web movies out there.
No, this first.
How could I possibly know that?
It is an origin story. So you are right. At the very end of the film, they have the three girls and her, and they flash forward to what might be in the future. It's just so annoying that you could have done this much quicker and actually had a sequence where they got their powers and did something. It's like a tease. It's just no delivery. Let's be honest, those three girls in the movie are the dumbest pieces of shit I've ever seen in a film.
They're three teenage girls. They're playing on that, how impulsive they are.
The dumbest things I've ever seen. Yes, they're 30-year-old women playing.
Well, listen, I've watched enough porno to know that that's how you do it. You put a 30-year-old woman in pigtails and put her in a cheerleading costume and just be like, yeah.
Gosh, no.
So, no, yes, I mean, I get it. That's what I'm saying. I get that it's fucking corny, but
it is. Yeah.
There were action sequences that were awesome. There was at least enough of a story. There was an actual story to this. Whether you liked the story or not, there's a story. Dark Phoenix didn't have a story.
Oh, that's true.
Like at all.
No.
I'm not saying I liked Madam Web. I'm not saying I'll ever watch it again. I'm not saying that it's a good movie. All I'm saying is that, like I said before, if you've got to show up and you've got to find a redeeming quality that makes one of the movies better than the other, that's what makes Madam Web better than Dark Phoenix, in my opinion, at least, as we're discussing this, is like, at least I got some small amount of enjoyment, whether it was secondhand embarrassment, whether it was, whether it was like abject horror, whether it was laughing unintentionally at things that weren't meant to be funny, whatever it is, at least it gave me something, despite how corny and stupid and problematic. I mean, it is. It's all over the place.
Well, yeah, it is a mess.
And you're right. If you moved everything up 20 minutes and gave us 20 minutes at the end where they get their powers, like that would have been nice. You know, it would have been nice if all the Jews lived in Schindler's List, but they didn't. And
horrible comparison.
So all I'm saying is, you know, you could look at any movie and say, well, wouldn't it have been better if they had just tried this? And like, you can do that for anything, but the movie is what it is. It's not awesome.
It's horrible. But the thing is that this one, I stopped so many times just because, and the only thing it was is I was getting little spurts of laughter out of it. Go look at this scene. Madam Webb. First of all, her last name really is Webb, which cracks me up.
Yeah.
Cassandra Webb or whatever.
What else would it be?
It's like Spider's last name is really Man. It's Peter Spider-Man. But anyway, she steals this cab. She steals this cab in like broad daylight when she's trying to rescue the three of them. And then she takes off with the girls in the cab, and then all she does, she grabs the most conspicuous vehicle that you could steal, a registered cab. She takes the license plates off. Like all of a sudden now she's invisible, and she drives this cab through like 2/3 of the movie. She's driving it around like no one will ever find her in her hidden.
There are a lot of taxis. Greg, you ever been to New York City? I mean, I know this isn't set there, but like, don't you think if you wanted to fit in, like, if you wanted to fit in at an Air Force base, like wear Air Force fatigues. If you want to fit in a giant metropolis, hop in a yellow cab. Better than hopping into a Ferrari and being like, no one's going to notice me in this Ferrari cruising around Midtown.
So the cabbie reports it stolen, and they're not going to be able to find it because it doesn't stand out at all as being a stolen bright yellow taxi with no license plates.
She took the license plates off so that the lady who had hacked into all the systems, which, what are these movies without a hacker? Am I right?
Yes.
We have all of the NSA security data. We've got all of the traffic cameras, all the whatever.
Oh, that's another hackneyed part. Is this guy changing all the lights? Didn't they do that in Die Hard 4 or some shit?
I don't know.
They've done it in a million with taking Pelham 1, 2, 3. I don't know. They've done it.
It's a part of it where he goes, I paid a lot of money for this technology. And it's like, I get it. Like, that's so stupid. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to tell you this movie is good. Like, those things are silly. Those things are just silly.
Oh, and things. It did make me laugh.
Okay, it made me laugh. There's a diner scene.
Oh, the diner scene is outrageously stupid.
It's outrageously stupid how they get there, how it all happens, that I got to listen to Hit Me Baby one more time, or Oops, I Did It Again, or whatever it is. But Webb gets them out of there.
Yeah.
Then goes back to kind of like investigate the scene, and it's just dark. The window's wide open. Like, it's not a crime scene. It's not there's no police tape. There's no people milling about picking up dead bodies. There's no interest in this place at all. They just were like, well, fuck it. I guess we're closed for the night. We'll shut the lights off.
Well, the thing is she takes them for their own good, and she knows there's cameras out there everywhere looking for them. So she dumps them in the freaking woods
with beef jerky.
With beef jerky, just stay here. And she expects them to not move. And then, of course, the one girl, she just can't stop being herself. They're there all of like 2 minutes until they go, F this, we're going to the diner. And I'm like, good Lord, you're so insufferable. Can you not just stay in your fucking place?
Have you been around teenagers lately?
I have, but your life is in danger if you leave this.
Their prefrontal cortex isn't developed. They don't understand consequences and like their own mortality.
Not only do they go to a diner, they order everything on the menu, and they go to the girl says, let's go to the bar. There's no bars in the
It's
diner.
a counter.
Okay, so
I-
we agree on that. And
Yeah.
then the doofuses in the corner booth are making googly eyes at him, and then they end up dancing on the freaking
Have you
table.
been around teenage boys lately?
The fact that they get on the table to Toxic, and this dude,
Oh, it was toxic. You're right.
it's Toxic, and it's a toxic movie, and I'm just like, you laugh because anything alternative would be to cry because it's that ridiculous.
I never felt like crying.
The thing, well, I laughed a lot, but I cried a lot too. Let's just say it made me laugh. It made me cry. It must have been Shakespeare. But the thing is that her power is that she has this premonition.
Come on, man. You're picking this apart.
She only gets like a 5-second head start. So she's like the worst psychic ever. I do like when the one girl throws shit at her. She's like, ow. Didn't see that coming, did you? It's so bad.
That's not how it
It's
works.
these brief flashes. Some are like well in advance, like the diner sequence. She got a premonition that the dude was going to show up and attack the girls because she had enough time to get in the cab and drive through the front of the gym.
She's still learning her power. She didn't even know she could be in two places at one time until the very end of the movie when she went to Peru on a moment's notice.
Yes, let's talk about that.
International fugitive who made it onto an airplane.
The dude from the beginning who was in a big like fake
He
spider
is
outfit.
so handsome.
She goes back. Where's your spider suit, dude? You're supposed to be head of the
For
spider.
living in the middle of the jungle, his clothes are very clean. He's
Yes.
well put together.
And the jungle looks like it's on a back lot of Universal.
Yes.
Oh,
And he's
I
got
think
his kerchief just nicely tied over to the side.
they shot some old Vietnam War movies there. It looks like everything's plastic. Anyway, yeah. So she explains to him in one of the most outrageously, isn't this such a great line that we did? They take the line from Spider-Man where it's with great power comes great responsibility. The importance of that saying is that if you're given power, you must use it responsibly. That's the point. If you use it irresponsibly, bad things can happen and you will cause harm to all those around you. It is the mantra of the Spider-Man universe. What does this dickhead tell her? When you take responsibility, great power will come to you. What the hell is that?
You just don't get it. You're being simple-minded and narrow-minded, and you don't want to understand what he's saying, and that's why you don't understand it.
That's like the worst. If you take responsibility for what? You have nothing to take responsibility
For her powers, she's taking responsibility for them.
Get them until she takes responsibility, and then she gets her power. So it's like,
No, she already could see into the future briefly.
explain to me what that means. If you take responsibility, great power will come to you. I don't get it.
Okay, I'll tell you what it means. Chat GPT. What does it mean?
Oh no.
No, I'm not gonna do that. But
Yeah.
again, not everything's got to make sense. Yeah, that was corny as hell. I get it.
I love when
I'm not suggesting this should have been one of the 8 movies we did for AFI's best 8 films of all time.
Another thing I love is Adam Scott, who I adore from Parks and Recreation, plays Ben Parker, Peter Parker's the uncle Ben, not the guy who did the rice, but Peter Parker's uncle.
Not Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Not Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's Ben Parker, and his sister is pregnant with young Peter in the movie. That's the way they tie it all together. And you picked up on that, right? I'm assuming that her baby was Peter Parker, her baby was Spider-Man.
No, I didn't get that.
Oh, see, you would have liked it even more had you figured that out.
I mean, I wasn't trying to figure anything out. Like whatever came to me while I was half paying attention to the
Did
movie.
you realize that Spider-Man was a baby in it?
I just let it.
Oh yeah.
I just let this movie like meet me where I was. You know what I mean? I was not trying to open myself up to too much of this. I was just letting it be a shitty movie and like what
was.
value can I take from it?
Yeah.
And the value is that as far as shitty movies go, this one's
Pretty shitty.
it's whatever. Like there's nothing wrong with this movie.
Okay. Oh,
I mean, I'm not saying nothing,
oh,
but I'm just saying
somebody who did not like Blues Brothers. Oh, this is good. But
like, I hate it.
it doesn't make me mad that you liked it. As a comedy, I find value in it, but I think as a movie, it's just the things that make me laugh is what are really the stuff that's bad. And that scene, Ben has to take his sister to the hospital because her water breaks and it grosses everybody out apparently when
Ew.
I know. So the thing is that the girls cannot go out in public because there's cameras everywhere. Why did they have to go to the hospital with Ben and his sister? Couldn't they just stay there?
They didn't want to stay there with the amniotic whatever.
The fluid on the floor.
Yeah.
That's the reason?
Gross.
Oh, come on, that was horrible. And then they get in the car, and what's the first thing she does? Right in the damn camera. It's the dumbest thing, dude.
Well, how else are they going to fight? We had to move this along at some point. They couldn't just keep staying hidden, because if they keep staying hidden, Greg,
yeah,
then you don't end up with like a big confrontation. They just hide the whole movie, and the guy never finds them, and then at the end, nothing happens. So they had to get caught.
They get caught.
This is just a fine enough way to do it, because we had already, because you can't check off gun the fact that we had a hacker lady with 7 computer monitors. You know she's a hacker because she has multiple monitors, not just long ways, but like stacked on top of each other and stuff. And she's
got everything.
She's plugged into the mainframes, and she's looking at databases and SQL,
got
whatever.
Yeah.
And so, like, I get it.
She's got everything. Look at that screen. Look at those screens.
Yeah, and you know that when they're in like black and white.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
the cityscapes with the GPS and everything. She's got it all.
She's got APIs like hacked into traffic lights.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, you're right, and that's the thing that is annoying, is that you should be able to write a film where you don't have to have those stupid things happen in order to move the plot along, because it's just makes no. It's a MacGuffin. It's just something you're doing where somebody acts stupid. They do it in horror movies all the time, and it's annoying as shit. Don't go in that room, and they go in the room, and then they get killed.
Don't go in there.
Exactly. But it's one of those things where they already got busted at the diner, and yet they just do it again. And I love how at the end of the movie they're like, we won't be what did she say? We won't be
impulsive or
that's what she says. We won't be impulsive anymore. We'll be good. Oh, come on. You already got busted twice. I also want to commend the film on their genius use of physics in regards to fireworks, which are the most potent explosive fireworks I've ever seen in a film.
A fucking hole through a wall, dude.
Steel. They rip steel into walls. These are some powerful ass fireworks, man. They are deadly. I didn't know we had fireworks out there like that. These were like cruise missiles.
Okay, first of all, fireworks are deadly, Greg, and you should take care when you are using them.
You could be like Jason Pierre-Paul, the Giants. You could blow your fingers off
with his little, like,
his little club
pterodactyl,
the lobster claws.
Yeah. So, okay. Right. Sorry, the fireworks weren't totally realistic for you in this otherwise very incredibly put together movie.
And then if you weren't aware, Pepsi did sponsor the show.
They blow their sign right off the.
They have a whole scene where she drinks a Pepsi.
Yeah,
make sure that the label is pointing toward the camera.
She's running out. She goes, "The only thing better than saving the day is a ice cold, crispy, refreshing Pepsi Cola."
But the whole thing and the sign fighting, which was ripped off of Highlander. If you've never seen Highlander from the 80s with Christopher Lambert, they fight in the main battle takes place on a rooftop where it says Silver Cup Studios and Queen music plays. It's badass. And these two guys sword fight on the roof in Highlander. Great
Well,
film.
this was fucking badass. Did anyone in Highlander end up in 3 places at the same time and save 3 different people using the web of knowledge and physics to say no? I don't think so. They said there can only be one. This one, there's 3. There's well, there was 4 of her, because there's the one
just shooting them out,
the original.
Yep.
And then she made 3 triplet clones of herself.
Yep.
Moved through space and time.
Yeah.
Saved them.
Yeah.
Reanimated itself back into one.
Yeah.
Fought the main dude, who up until this point is completely unstoppable, but he did get pinned underneath a piece of the sign.
Yep.
And so show's over.
Yeah. He got Hans Gruber.
He got Hans Gruber. They did the Wilhelm scream as he
the Hans Gruber.
And
fine. Yeah.
I mean, you know,
you left out the best part.
No,
she falls into the water and then somehow takes a firework right in the freaking face.
It's
through the water. A burning firework right in the eye.
But dude, that was full circle from the beginning of the movie. By the way, is Madame Web in the comics book? Is she blind?
Yes.
So so now we know why she's blind, because she got hit in the fucking face. So the black cat or lady fingers or whatever,
right in the face. She took one. It's actually another scene that makes me laugh. And so she ends up in the hospital, and the girls come to visit her, tell her they're not going to be impulsive anymore. They'll be good girls, and we can all be superheroes together. And then she
why is she in a wheelchair?
I have no idea why she ended up in a wheelchair. But if you go back to the image, so let's look at this one. Let's look at that again. See that? Mm-hmm. And look at the window. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have sold me on this. Let's go back and look at the previous image. If I can find it, we're gonna find it. That I showed at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here.
I've talked you into this.
Now look. She's in some sort of. It ain't a wheelchair, but it's some sort of spidery
egg sack.
It's something like that. But she's confined to it. She can't move. But then you see the web behind her and everything. So look at the comparison there. You might be onto something here.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's more to this movie. You just have to open your mind and your heart to it.
I'm not opening shit. It's such a bad film. But anyway, it's all good.
I love this is coming from the same guy who hated Blues Brothers. That is such a fucking.
And we never got this. Why didn't we get this? The image of Madame Web in the costume like that. Come on.
Yeah, this would have been good.
Yeah.
Like Halle Berry and Catwoman, otherwise, shit. But the costuming department did a great job.
Yeah, they got paid, I'm sure. I hope they did, because they did, the costumes, the quick costumes were awesome. They just you didn't get to see them in them. And that kind of sucked. That's the only thing I'll say about this movie is there was potential there. And the thing is when you do an origin story, and people know it's an origin story because they've been done over and over and over again in comics, and people hate it, you never get to make the film that everybody wanted to see. What's on the screen right now with the Spider Women and Madame Web, that was the film everybody wanted to see. People do want to see people in costumes, in colorful costumes, fight bad guys in the city. That's what they want to see.
Well, then maybe we'll get a sequel to this.
I don't think that's in the cards.
Well, listen.
I don't think we're going to get Madame Web 2. First of all, Dakota Johnson, as soon as it was done filming, she was trying to distance herself from it, and she knew that it was garbage.
The budget was $100 million. It made $100.5 million.
Word got around fast.
A rounding error on this.
The fact that it got over 100 million, but that's because it is a Spider-Man film. So people are like, or think it is, it's in that universe. People are starting to get wise to that, because one of the ones that we have on the list, Kraven the Hunter, people started to figure it out that they're just doing these piles of shit to keep the Spider-Man name, and that one did really bad. But stuff like Morbius with Jared Leto, it had like a decent opening weekend because people thought, oh, it's Morbius, it's a vampire from Spider-Man, and then it just became the butt of every joke in the world.
I thought Morbius was from The Matrix.
That's Morpheus. Orpheus, I think.
Okay.
Morbius is the living vampire.
I'm getting a lot of information crossed. Which
Yeah,
is fine. I don't care about that.
I didn't realize that this was going to become a Marvel Comics kind of classroom session, but I'm here for it. It's good. I don't mind.
I mean, I think that we both learned a lot
I learned that,
about love.
yes, I did. I learned that you could just let go and let something stupid exist and just enjoy it for what it is and laugh. I did laugh more. I will say this. I laughed more at Madam Web than I did at Dark Phoenix. And if you want to, and here even Mike says, at least it made him laugh at how bad it was. So that's where I'm at. Every time something that was supposed to be serious. I didn't even talk about one of my favorite scenes, and I have the clip, but I'm afraid to show it because it might log everything up again. So I'm not going to do it. But the scene where her boss, Mike Epps, and she's asking him to let her drive, and he's like, no, everything's all right. And then he drives off in the distance and gets plowed into. Was it a garbage truck or something?
Yeah, it was like a semi or something, a garbage truck.
I don't know what hit him, but it's so funny.
That'll show him.
Dumbass.
Man, this is stupid. This film won 3 Golden Raspberry Awards: Worst Picture, Worst Actress, and Worst Screenplay. But that's not true. No.
I never would have thought you'd have been this film's advocate. I didn't have this on my bingo card this year. That's
not
great.
saying
I get it. Yeah.
We were given 2 movies.
Yes.
One of them, like, would you rather eat a sandwich and on the inside is like 3-day-old rotten turkey, or would you rather it be like 13-week-old Indian food that someone ate and then shit out back into the sandwich?
Well,
because that's what we're working with. Like, I'm not saying I want to eat a 3-day-old turkey sandwich.
Are we talking Vindaloo or Madras?
Just like a masala, like
oh, then no,
coconut curry.
Yeah, no, it's got to be spicy for me.
But that's all I'm saying. Like, we were given 2 movies. We are the only show in the world that has the courage to do what we do.
Yep.
We're the only 2 men capable of it. And so when you're put in a situation like that, you just have to make the best of it. And I tried to make the best out of both of the movies. It's just Dark Phoenix. I mean, it didn't make any sense. It wasn't entertaining. It wasn't funny. And there wasn't a story. Well, what else is there?
Yeah.
Madam Web, whether they accomplished them or not, had a story, was fucking funny. Like,
a lot of
to some extent, it made sense. Don't tell me it didn't make sense. Don't tell me she didn't travel to fucking Peru.
Peru. She gets there. She gets there so quick. It's like, where is she catching these flights? We didn't even talk about that. She ends up in Peru in like 3 hours. And then she's back.
I was like, I know I don't need to see like an extended scene of her like getting her passport stamped or anything, but like the fact that she said she's going to Peru and the very next scene is in Peru was like, God damn.
She's on a rickety bus in the middle of nowhere.
Like, give me a little more than
she
that.
Finds this hidden society like that. Well, I told your mother that I would be there or whatever you return.
And he kept his promise. That's something you should look into.
What promise do I need to keep?
I'm just saying you should keep all of your promises. And that's what the movie showed.
When you take responsibility,
then great power comes with it.
Comes to you. Anyway, all right, let's vote.
I vote for Madam Web.
I will say, as the worst, We got to vote for the worst.
Oh, Dark Phoenix is the fucking
Okay.
worst. I vote for Dark Phoenix.
I didn't do an audience poll. I thought about doing one on our Facebook page because they've been doing really well. But the thing is with this is that I use the emojis a lot of times. I didn't want to put a thumbs up or a heart because that's going to confuse people. And I said to myself, with this one at least, I hate both of these films equally. So I don't really care which one loses because
That's a shit attitude to have. You need to come in here. Come in
I-
here with an
them
opinion.
both. I hate them both. But I will say this. I laughed at least unintentionally. Madam Web works as a comedy. So if I had to, like, we've talked about this with the other films, like if you have to choose which one you would watch again, we do that with good films, and which one I could stomach watching again is probably going to be Madam Web because I'll laugh. I'm never watching Dark Phoenix again. I already had stopped it the previous time. At least the first time I watched Madam Web, I watched it to the end. And I've actually told my kids about it and said, you want to see a piece of shit? You really gotta watch this movie. It's so bad.
It left an impression on you.
Yeah. It's like it's so bad it's good. So I knew going in that I was like going to be pretty open to either of these losing. I wasn't going to give a shit. I hate them both, but I will agree that Madam Web at least makes me laugh. So the loser in our first round battle for the worst Marvel movies is Dark Phoenix, and here we go. Oh wait a minute!
yeah.
Wait a minute. That's what we've had for the loser.
You know what? The one I like better than Sad Trombone is Price is Right. The bum bum ba
Soundboard, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad you see it my way because this is a big upset. Have we ever had an 8
I don't think so.
upset a 1?
I don't think so. In this category, anything goes.
It's a real Cinderella story.
They're all shitty movies, so anything goes. Our next one is going to take place in a couple of weeks. The first round will continue, and it's going to be the one we just mentioned a little while ago. It's going to be Morbius, the living vampire, versus a lot of people love this. It's considered a cult classic. Leah Thompson in Howard the Duck, which is actually a Marvel comic, believe it or not.
Okay.
It was
I'm
out-
excited for I've never seen Howard the Duck.
It's you have
I've
to.
never seen Morbius anyway, but
I'm not going to sell any of them to you. Just go in with an open mind. Morbius, Morbius is bad. It's in the realm of Madam Web. It is. Everything lives up to.
What do
it.
you mean? Madam Web was fucking rad.
After you're done watching Morbius, go online and just Google it to see all the stuff that came out, the memes. It'll give you a whole new appreciation of how shitty that movie is. So,
Okay.
but anyway, that's it for tonight. Thank you for everybody who tuned into the live stream. We're glad you could be here with us again. This is Box Office Battles with Greg and Eric. We want to mention that if you like what you've heard, go ahead, please subscribe, whether that's on YouTube at Box Office Battle Podcast, on Twitch at Box Office Battle Pod. And if you want to email us, you can do so at boxofficebattles@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or Amazon Music, or any of the others, your favorite ones. Make sure that you go to that particular site, look up Box Office Battles with Greg and Eric, and then just subscribe and you'll get all the new episodes. And again, we'll be back in a couple of weeks with Morbius, the living vampire, versus Howard the Duck. That being said, I'm going to turn it over to Eric for his final victorious words, where his favorite movie of all time, Madam Web, has won.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys listening in. And until next week, please remember to be like Madam Web and be excellent to each other and be in 3 places at once. And we'll talk to you down the road.
All right, everybody. Have a great couple of weeks. We'll see you soon with Morbius versus Howard the Duck. Have a great evening, everybody.
I'm Chili Dilly, the personality pickle.
Hi, I'm Greg, and I'm a nerd.
You must be kidding, aren't you?
I have never seen anything like this.
The worst part has been watching the actual watching of the movie.
Some of these were pretty terrible.